I can back it up. I put my money where my mouth is, then I stack it up. Big game, big game, big game, big game, big game, my whole team, they proud of me. Y'all know what it's about to be. Y'all just sit back, watch this greatness. None y'all can come after me. I am the one with the master plan. Got all of you calling me Master P. I got the game in the bag, and you know I'm the king. Don't come after me. This a big game, walking like I talk it. Yeah, yeah, I need rings. I ain't got no options. Yeah, I got the chips on repeat. Better watch how you talk when you see me. Got it out of the mud, yeah, I'm knee deep. And I rap for my team 'cause they need me. Too easy, don't believe me. I'm too much at once, don't you OD. I'm not what you want on G.O.D. Pay me your respect 'cause you owe me. Owe me, never change, still the same. Running things in my lane. Play the game, gotta rain, anything. Know I gotta back it up 'cause I talk a big game. 'Cause I can back it up. I put my money where my mouth is, then I stack it up. I talk a big game. 'Cause I can back it up. I put my money where my mouth is, then I stack it up. Big game, big game, big game, big game, big game.
Hey, yeah, hey. Welcome, y'all, to the Healing and Change Lab. I am so grateful to have you in the space with me. It's so good to have you here. It's so great to have you in this space. My name is Almeda Pitts, Professor Almeda sounding like cheetah, yeah. And I have joined the HillmanTok University series, as well as the TikTok University series. And I'm just so grateful to be in community with y'all. But most of all, this is a real life, everyday series of just, you can learn beyond university, which is so great. So I have created, and I am the founder and creator of the Healing and Change Lab. And I am developing a series, and this is the first part of it that we'll have for our syllabus for you to be joining the Dreaming Collective Care Practice Lab 101, Navigating Despair in Uncertain Times. Now, what will I tell you? Like every university, every learning space, right, has a lab. And when I saw that there was a need for the lab, I was like, come on in. So let me just tell you a little bit more about what you're coming into this space today, and using some alchemy to play with, which is really great. But I just want to name in this moment that where we are, like the Healing and Change Lab, it's a place where we can reclaim dreaming, collective care, and practice to navigate uncertainty, build mutual aid, and create sustainable shifts beyond burnout and despair. You belong here. Yes, you do. You belong here. So as I'm navigating a little bit of just the sound, make sure I'm not being overpowered with the sound in the background, but I do love it. Did y'all like the intro? Did y'all like the music? I will make sure that I share the information below. I am using some really great non-royalty yet invested information and songs from artists from Audio, AUDIIO. Not sponsored as yet, but I just wanted to give you that resource. That is what I'm using for my music in my background, which is great. Okay? Y'all want to get started? Let's get started for sure. So once more, coming into space and just asking why the Healing and Change Lab exists. Like, why does it exist in the first place? I'm glad you asked. When we think about just a lab, right? A lab has so many elements to it, and you'll see some of that and a play with that, such as the fact or hypothesis, the lab notes. So definitely be able to feel free to engage within this material as well, and to navigate it at your best of your ability. And I will definitely make sure I do my best to navigate a little bit more, such as being able to describe what's on the screen. So I actually want to practice that a little bit more by going a little bit backwards. And I want to say that on the screen names that this is a welcome to the Dreaming Collective Care Practice Lab. So it's Dreaming Collective Care and Practice Lab 101, Navigating Despair in Uncertain Times. And on to the right, there is a beautiful image of a beautiful Black woman who is probably around the ages of maybe 20 She also could be in a space where, black don't crack, brown don't frown. So she could be in her 30s as well. In the background of her is this beautiful image of just like the sky, and there's beautiful flowers in the background, and they're colorful. It's almost like watermark, or like this watercolor, and it's like pretty golds and purples and oranges and greens, and she has this black suit on with a blue dress shirt underneath, and then on her right is her lapel is a beautiful yellow flower as well. So that's the part that I'm also being able to acknowledge at the very places that I can continue to practice accessibility. I will, and be able to make sure that people who are joining this course and this series are able to join it at different abilities. Okay. All right. So let's go back and here be able to name it once more, why the Healing and Change Lab exists. Well, here are my lab notes. This is some things that are coming up here. So acknowledging why this was created gives you a little bit of background and help you to understand like where I was thinking about and where I was coming from with this. So when the world is unraveling, we need spaces that allow us to build something different. We're living through a deep uncertainty, not because systems are broken, but because they function as designed. And that design is unsustainable. The weight of it all can leave us exhausted and disconnected. But what if dreaming, collective care, and practice weren't just coping, but essential for survival and transformation? Okay. To the right here, we have a just pink letter block lettering, and it says fact. And below that, it says the Healing and Change Lab isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Okay. The Healing and Change Lab isn't a luxury, it is a necessity. And I want to give shout out to someone I've been inspired with, and just a movement I've been inspired with is the NAP ministry. Trisha Hersey. Trisha Hersey, you are doing the damn thing. And I just want to say thank you so much for all that you're doing, because you continue to inspire me to remind myself to be soft in all ways. Okay. The next one is we have a purple colored block, and in that block it says hypothesis. And underneath that, as we know, a hypothesis is what? An educated guess. You said it right. That's right. Okay, I see y'all. Okay, so it says the road ahead is long. We're in it for the journey. So this is not about a sprint, y'all. We are in this for the marathon. Okay. So take your time with this. Hence why we have it. It's called the Dreaming Collective Care and Practice Lab. Let's go a little bit further here. And let me go back. Oh, my parts are a little bit sticky there, so bear with me here. All right, so why dreaming, collective care, and practice? Like, why? Why those three elements? Well, when we think about this part, and we think about a formula, right? Because a lab experiment needs a formula. These elements are not separate. They form a formula for survival, coalition building, mutual aid, and long-term cultural sustainability. It's so important to name that we are the culture, y'all. Like right now, in this moment, as a collective, we're in this culture of feeling burnt out, this culture of feeling despair. Yep. So how do we navigate our humanity? How do we navigate these levels where we can be cared for in spaces of collective care, dreaming, and practice? The next part that we have are variables, which are also like key elements. Those key elements are what? Dreaming, collective care, and practice. For my folks in the back of the room, it's what? Dreaming, collective care, and practice, okay? So observations of this, like every lab experiment needs observation. The observation is without dreaming, we lose hope. Without collective care, we burn out. Without practice, nothing shifts, okay? Shout out for those who follow me on Substack. This shift ain't easy. You see what I did there? This shift ain't easy. Yeah, I love it too. Experiment. This lab is where we experiment, expand, and refuse to shrink. That is what I name, because I know this can be triggering a bit, and activation warning that even hearing the historical parts of our history and traumas of being in spaces where my ancestors, some of y'all ancestors out there, even in today, um, being experimented on. That's not what this is. No, no, no. We're making this space a play space, a space where you can come in to practice, to mix up, to build that alchemy, right? To be in the lab cooking up some stuff, okay? So being able to acknowledge that it's important that we are here to experiment, play space, expand, and refuse to shrink. Let's go a little bit further here. Y'all all right up in there? I hope so. All right, so let me tell a little bit more. The Healing and Change Lab Consortium. So it's not just me. I'm so grateful. Like I said, I'm founder and principal consultant of Ateemla Consulting, which is our main consulting space. As you can see, Ateemla Consulting presents. However, this is the lab that we have created, and I have created this, and I'm so grateful to have a consortium of fellow, right, dare I say, scientists. There are subject matter advocates that I will also be able to explain a little bit more about and who they are. So when you think about this space of just acknowledging subject matter advocates, like, we recognize that experts means that there has to be some type of level of knowing all the things. I like the term advocates. It's like, because every day we're learning and unlearning. So again, this Healing and Change Lab is led by me, created by Professor Almeda Pitts. The Healing and Change Lab is a powerhouse consortium of subject matter advocates. And I'm talking about, y'all, powerhouse. We have perinatal therapists, we have sociologists, civil rights attorney, we have IT expertise and advocacy on our team, youth development leaders. It's so awesome. And so if you haven't done so already, on the bottom of my ticker here, for those who are being able to see this, it is www.Ateemla, my name is spelled backwards, ATTEMLA consulting.com, and you can visit us there to be able to navigate the levels of finding out who we are in our consortium and being able to learn more about us. Okay. Methodology here, being able to name that every lab experiment needs a methodology. Yep, that's right. So the offerings that we have with our methodology is we provide, executive coaching, leadership labs, and with that executive coaching and leadership labs, it's all about intervention and applied practice, giving room to that. We also provide learning labs, as you are in one right now, and workshops, capacity building and experimental learning processes. We provide support on developing mutual aid and coalition building support, if that's for individuals, communities, organizations. It's about collaborative systems and network science, which is really important to name. Try to say that 5 times fast. Cultural Sustainability Consulting. CSC, Cultural Sustainability Consulting, long-term impact and system analysis. So we provide many aspects for organizations during this time, individuals, all that when it comes to that spaces of seeking more of our services, which is really great. Why this lab? Why is it necessary now? Like, why is that so necessary? Wait. Before we go a little bit further, I do want to name this something I did not mention before. Disclaimer. I know. I mentioned the term therapist, and I mentioned the term attorneys, and I mentioned the term that, oh my goodness, you see these letters behind our name. Hey, we are not providing therapy. We're not providing any legal advice. We're not providing any form of financial advice or medical advice. It is going to be so important, y'all, that to participate in this lab encourages you to build upon your wellness care team. Who do you need to also be a part of your wellness care team to help you participate in these labs? Who do you need, right? Yes, I am a therapist who happens to have a therapist, a hella dope therapist at that. So the question is being able to name, what do you need in your wellness care team? Because we are actually providing this as an educational support resource. This is more informative. This is practices that you can use throughout your time, but we are not providing therapy. Even though it may feel therapeutic, we are not providing therapy. Okay. All right. So back to this. Why this lab? Why is it necessary now? Well, again, back to our problem. Every lab has a problem, every experiment, and it names that we cannot afford to move without intention. The stakes are too high right now. That's the problem. Our observations, we are recognizing that there's rising in burnout and emotional exhaustion, undervalued, overworked, and uncertain workers, struggles with talent retention, trust, and morale, isolation, lack of support, and disconnection, growing fear, despair, and feeling like this learned helplessness or just a sense of helplessness or even hopelessness. Now, here's what we talk about when it talks about an intervention in our lab experiment. This is exactly why we need dreaming, collective care, and practice. This is why we need coalition building, mutual aid, and refuge spaces, soft spaces. Shout out to Sonia Renee Taylor. I remember hearing that for the first time. Soft spaces. Thank you, Sonia Renee Taylor, for naming that in one of your lives. Y'all will hear me definitely doing shout outs to folks that I really admire and or I'm learning from too, and unlearning practices of like, whoa, I did not know that this is something to practice. And that practice that I learned was Sonia Renee Taylor, who's the author of The Body is Not an Apology. Amazing book, amazing workbook. Shout out to them as well. Also, going back to this is why we need the Healing and Change Lab. Okay. All right, let's go a little bit further, y'all. Y'all still with me? I hope so. So when we think about our 4-week syllabus, every space of like a university, TikTok University, HillmanTokUniversity, Real Life University has a syllabus. So starting today, February 6th through March 6th, 2025, we'll be in a space of acknowledging that week 1, February 6th, we have this aspect of dreaming beyond despair. And then we have the space of week 2, which is February 13th, radical rest and collective care. And guess what? For those who've been following me, if you know, you know, I've been doing the Unwind and Jam. I did that around the end of the year. And I know people are like, bring it back, bring it back. And I am. So second Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, we'll have a Unwind and Jam session that evening just to kind of be able to move the body, practice a little bit of somatics, practice a space of connecting music to also learning, which is very important for those who don't know. If you know, you know that there's studies that show that using music to connect with learning can be very helpful and it helps to retain information as well. Week 3, February 20th, the science of small rituals. We'll be going through that. Week 4 is February 27th, navigating fear and change readiness. Unwind and Jam happening again for Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And there's a bonus. So technically it's kind of 5 weeks. March 6th, bringing it all together. Now here's where I want to pause because I do want to name that right now we're in the space of acknowledging that I'm providing these support resources to everyone. But I want to also name that we have a waiting list, okay? Because guess what? The Healing and Change Lab will be in a space of accepting new students and having a space where we'll be able to build community together. You'll be able to invest, you'll have the opportunities, but right there, you can be able to use your QR code. It is an opportunity for you to open up, fill out the form, and if you have that, and therefore we can be able to add you to our rolling admissions. Yes, it is rolling admissions that we'll have, and that's gonna be so helpful. So I just wanted to name that to y'all and just say, feel free to join us because we will be starting officially and having this more in a place where it feels a little bit more of just intimate community building as well. So I'll always share like resources such as this and also acknowledging that we'll have a little bit more spaces where we can invest and have a bit more community. Are y'all excited? Because I am. So definitely do your QR code there and make sure you have the opportunity to be able to fill out your join waiting list form. Okay. All right. So going back into our space here, I want to make sure we have that up there. There we go. Okay. So we're here. We made it. We made it to the 30-minute experimental lab here. And I'm so excited to have y'all with me. And this time I think I'm going to change a little bit of music. Let's see what we got. Okay. There we go. Love it. Okay. So 30 minute experiential lab where you get to really just be in a place of just playing with the resources, okay? All right. So again, back to our methodology. Lab notes here are being able to say that in the uh, experiential learning, through coloring, drawing, writing, reflection, and thematic practices, those are the methods that we'll use to be able to experience today's lab. The outlines, this part of the methodology really does outline learning modalities or experiential approach, detailing the interactive methods used in this lab. So it's really telling you that, hey, we're going to be coloring, we're going to be drawing, we're going to be writing, reflection, and somatic practices. And the purpose for this is a true laboratory for dreaming, collective care, and practice. It really does serve as the lab's core focus. It provides an experiment theme or guiding framework, highlighting the central purpose of the reason why we are doing this. Okay, so just giving you a background of why have that methodology and that purpose, because every experiment does. The lab agreement. It's important when we are building community that we need to have also agreements, right? And that's for being able to build community and also conflict resolution. I want to acknowledge that there's lab ethics. Every lab has ethics. So every lab needs agreements for accountability, depth, and transformation. We're not always guaranteed safety, so I just want to just name that as we're seeing right now in our country. It's important. So I like the term accountable spaces. And I cannot coin that. It's actually from an amazing article. If you check out the article title on Medium, Accountable Spaces and No Longer Brave Spaces. I do apologize. Shout out to the author who does that. I can't remember the name, so I do apologize. But having more of accountable spaces, depth, and transformation, we call them elements of alchemy. You see what I did there? Elements of alchemy, shifting the chemistry of how we exist together. So here's the problem, right? So being able to name that there is the parts of why we are bringing in the lab ethics. Well, we want to make sure that we have the lab agreement, elements of alchemy, which we talked about. But the parts that are really important to name is there's no bigotry in this space. There is no body terrorism, no anti-Blackness, no hate of any form at all, okay? Mistakes are data, not failure. So drop all the levels of perfectionism. We ain't about it. Mistakes are data, not failure. Dreaming is a radical act of defiance. Care is mutual, not transactional. Small shifts create big change. Y'all good with that? Y'all all right out there with that? I hope so. All right, let's keep on going. And again, once more, this is an educational space, right? It is. So this is not a space where we are providing you, right, with medical advice, with any form of therapy, with any form. Yeah, okay, y'all get it. All right. Here we go. Let's keep going. All right, so here we are in section 1, dreaming, okay? So with this, being able to acknowledge that we are beginning to authentically be in space of dreaming. I changed that up a little bit too, a little music for our dreaming space, okay? So in this activity, what I want us to be able to practice is before we move, before we heal, we must dream. And dreaming is not passive, it's an act of defiance. So my question to you, if you have your pen and paper, if you have your Crayolas, if you have your markers, if you just have a digital space to just be able to document what you're feeling, what's showing up, we're going to go through this, okay? So the first question I want to ask you and ask the community is, what did you want to be before the world told you otherwise? Oh, that part right there. What did you want to be before the world told you otherwise? Oh, can you just sit there in this moment? Don't forget your breath. You're more than welcome to give yourself a compassion hold if it's like right hand over chest and left hand over belly. As you're just reflecting and dreaming in this moment, what did you want to be before the world told you otherwise? Take a moment right now just to breathe through your diaphragm. You may have a soft gaze in front of you, your eyes closed. You're focusing on that intent, being able to inhale courage, And exhale fear. One of my favorite mantras. What did you want to be before the world told you otherwise? Take some time to write about that. I'm still here. I'm with you all the way. What did you want to be before the world told you otherwise? All right. Give you a few more minutes, a few more seconds. All right. Now that you have that thought, let's go into the alchemy experiment, the dream collage. Choose how you want to capture your dream. You can either draw it, write a letter from your future self, pick a color that represents your dream, and shade in a page. You can do any and all of those items there to capture your dream. I'll give you an example of how I was able to capture my dream and or ways to capture your dream. Shout out to Canva. Just want to say shout out to Canva because the drawings are so amazing. But here you are in the space of acknowledging dreams, right? Being able to name like, what are you dreaming about? Are you dreaming beyond this world? Are you dreaming beyond what limitations? Now, I'm not saying in the space of trying to just like disassociate, maybe escapism, and maybe that's needed too at this time. There's no judgment upon that. But be able to acknowledge, like, what are you dreaming about beyond what is presented here? Because some folks are dreaming of what is dreamt for us that we did not agree to. So what are you dreaming about? Are you dreaming about a world that has greater freedoms, greater levels of resources for everyone, no matter who we are as people? Are you shading in some colors here, right? We can shade in those colors. You can also write a letter to your future self. All that's possible in this moment of dreaming. Give yourself room. Give yourself space. Haha, double entendre, there's space. You see us, we're going to the moon. So good, so good. All right. Keep on drawing, keep on writing. I'm still here with you. So great, so necessary. All right. Still there? All right. Take your time. You can always come back to this. Remember that this is your lab. This is your time. Okay? Let's go a little bit further. Let's go into collective care, our next form of alchemy, an element of alchemy. No one holds us alone. No one leaves the lab without support. So storytelling, the myth of self-sufficiency or the sense of ultra-independence. We all need each other, y'all, in this. We need each other. We ain't gonna make it out without each other. I'm gonna quote back to Tricia Hersey, the author and founder of the NAP Ministry. And one of the quotes is, community care will save us. Let's try that one more time for those in the back. Community care will save us. And I love that. It's a great quote. So just acknowledging like this myth of self-sufficiency, this myth of being so ultra independent. It's important to acknowledge, like, to build our community, we also need to practice that space of that part where it makes us feel like shame, like we've done something wrong, of like, I ain't gonna ask somebody for help. No. We need help. We need help to help each other, but we also have to continue to practice what that feels like. I know Resma Minicum, author of My Grandmother's Hands, and I remember him saying, like, there's reps, right? Like the practice, like there's always a need to do reps. And that's the practice, right? Of being able to name, like, the shame doesn't belong to you. It's a trauma response to acknowledging that we're supposed to have it all together, even in this time where the world just feels like it's on fire. it's okay to ask for help. And it's okay to acknowledge your capacity of what you can or cannot do in this time, too. Give yourself room, give yourself softness. So, the alchemy experiment is the invisible hands exercise. Again, if you're in a place where you feel like you can not be driving, or where you feel like you just be able to sit down, or maybe you're laying down, or whatever it may be, either you have your eyes closed, you can maybe close your eyes. Think of one person, past or present, who has held you. That's definitely a space of mutual consent, just holding you. Who has held you? Have you received a hug in a while? If you haven't, I hope there's space for you to receive that with that consent, a mutual consent there. But I want you to press your hands together as if you're holding their energy, right? Just pressing your hands together as if you're holding their energy. I'm holding you there. Just giving yourself that moment. What does it feel like to just be held? Just have that moment. You can also interlock if you like as well. Don't forget your breath, and duly release that hands there. And you're more than welcome to lower your hands if you like. Now, if you have pen and paper near you, once more, I want you to trace your hand or hands. And on the inside of tracing your hands, I want you to write how many ways you've been cared for. Who was there to support you? Who has supported you? Okay. So, if you need a little bit more guidance, I've created the same way of support. And here's mine here. So, in my hands, I have, and I'll place like right there we go, it's better. In my hands, I have laughter, right? Because that's how I've been supported, with laughter. I have love. So I've been so loved upon from loved ones, family, friends, partnership, all of that. So needed, so awesome. I've also had freedom, the freedom just to be myself. Oh my gosh, people tell me all the time, just keep doing you because it's so encouraging. You just being you encourages me to be me. I love that. And that's the freedom, right? The freedom. And it doesn't have to be limited to just that, but that's just one way that I recognize that I'm supported in. Hugs. Oh my gosh. I wrote here like the ring finger hugs, because hugs have been so helpful for me throughout this time, especially during this time where it feels like this sense of like kind of like this deficiency of like not having like mutual consent, like hugs, just like sometimes missing out on a hug is so important to name. Like, haven't received a hug in a while, you know? And I want to give honor to as well the various spaces where sometimes we can't receive hugs because maybe there's levels of like, hey, if you are in my presence, it may actually cause me harm because maybe auto immune things happening in our world. Because yes, we're still going through COVID, y'all. We're still going through flu, walking pneumonia, moving pneumonia. It's a lot. It's a lot to practice. So I want to just practice once more that what you are navigating on the collective care screen here is a hand, and it has on the thumb print here, it says laughter. On my ring, or excuse me, my index finger, it says love. Middle finger says freedom. Hugs on my ring finger, and on my pinky, it says joy. Now, in the middle of my hand, do you want to fill it up? Fill it up, y'all, okay? There is dancing at the top. There's adventure. In the middle there, I have there that have helped me as well and supported me is a hella dope therapist. Oh gosh, I'm so grateful for my hella dope therapist who's been in my life. I'm so grateful. Encouragement. Oh, I've had so many people who have encouraged me, like, keep going. I'm like, thank you so much. Believing in me. Oh, sometimes when I just don't believe in myself, y'all, I have folks who just be like, and I believe in you. I'm so grateful. Shout out to my mom. I can hear her now saying, I believe in you, baby girl. Thank you, mama. Soft life here at the bottom, right? That space of acknowledging soft life, because I need that as well. Sometimes in this world where we're taught to just be so hard on ourselves and so hard of just like, oh, if I grind a little bit harder, or if I move a little bit further, or if I just kind of stay to myself and just kind of like become a stone, then maybe I'll be cared for. But if I don't actually allow myself to just give myself room to be soft, or even know what it feels like to be soft, how do I even know like that's even an opportunity for me, a way of being for myself? So soft life. And soft life includes not being a strong friend anymore either. Yeah, yeah, ooch, ouch. Ooch, ouch. That's real. To just acknowledge that soft life has helped me to also practice not being a strong friend, a strong daughter, strong auntie, strong cousin. Nada. We ain't doing it no more. I want soft life. And I've been practicing that. All right. Okay, y'all still there? Okay, okay, okay. We're going to bring the hand down. Then we're going to our last part of our experiment. Oh, going a little bit fast there. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Section 3, practice. This is our last alchemy elements. So in this practice, we have small rituals create big change. So the storytelling here is alchemy of the small. The alchemy experiment is one shift, one symbol. So on this activity, you're going to draw a circle, triangle, or spiral to represent your micro shift. Because again, it's not about having no big shifts or like, oh my gosh, we got to do. No. It's little moments like this just to micro shift. Just micro shift. Okay? Answer. What is one small shift you can make today? One small shift. Not something big, not trying to be perfectionist in it, not trying to produce more. Just one small shift. Maybe it was just participating in this lab today. That's great. That's one small shift. Okay. Going to activity. What would that feel like or look like? Okay, well, I've drawn mine here. Shout out to Canvas. One more time. Having my circles here. I have a circle with a big, bold, black border around it. I also have a triangle with a black border around it. And I have like a swirl, like almost feels like a cinnamon roll swirl. So going around there, okay? So drawing that space. So draw a circle, triangle, or spiral to represent your micro shift. Just draw it. Just give yourself room to draw it. If you don't have pen and paper, you can draw it on your hand, right? With your index finger. What does it feel like to just feel that circle in your palm there? What does it feel like to just be able to draw in your palm the feeling of a triangle? What does it feel like to also take that time to just be able to draw the circle in your palm or the spiral over and over until you kind of get to the end? Just that practice. Just a practice, y'all. Y'all still with me? Okay, I see y'all. Why don't you say I feel y'all? Because at this point, this is pre-recorded. We'll get it together and be able to do it live. And also don't forget to what? Yes, don't forget to give yourself this opportunity to sign up for our waiting list so you can join us in community and have real time with me, and also being able to be with community, which is very helpful. Okay, so you have the QR code there. Give yourself that room to acknowledge that as well. All right. We're almost done with our experiment, y'all. So closing and updates that I have for y'all. So we know what's going to happen next. You've had the syllabus. You've had all the things that are there, for our experiment. So we're going to be reminded that in closing, without dreaming, we lose hope. Without collective care, we burn out. Without practice, nothing shifts. So join us. Join us when? Next Thursday. Yes, next Thursday. I also will produce a probably pre-recorded video, so you have this. But don't forget that next Thursday is what? The second Thursday. So you actually will have me live, which is really great, 8:30 p.m. And I'll inform you of how to connect with me. So we can have the Unwind and Jam. And I encourage you at this moment to just prepare for your next experiment. in order to go over some of this experiment and be able to navigate this in any way possible. All right. So before we go, hold up. Professor, how do I contact you? All right, I'm so glad you asked. So you can find me on TikTok, Instagram at Almeda, ALMETTA_creates. If you're being able to watch this, you'll be able to pause this. You can screen shot it, whatever you need. You also have my website at www.atimlaconsulting.com. You have me at YouTube, this will be posted as well at Almeda, ALMETTA_creates. Substack. I'm on Substack and I'm also writing for all my English lit majors. I'm so excited. I'm getting back to writing. Yes, I was an English lit major, fun fact, before I became a clinical social worker, social scientist, researcher / just me being me, consultant, all that. Yeah. I love to write as well. So I'm under Shift Ain't Easy because y'all, this shift ain't easy. I love that play of words. LinkedIn is underneath my name here, Almeda Pitts, ALMETTA_PITTS. I'm also on Facebook at Atimla Consulting, which is my name spelled backwards, consulting. We also have a digital shop, as y'all have been able to do. I'll actually host the QR codes once more, so you can be able to join into our digital shop. And then coming soon, some of y'all have joined me at Twitch, and I'm going to definitely maybe posting this on Twitch, but not yet. I'm going to make sure I just have some more time with Twitch, but I am on Twitch as _the_qual, QOL. It's an acronym for quality of life. And then we have the migration to what? Patreon. So you have a little bit more access, VIP access, more an opportunity for you to invest and be able to have more time. And it is more time with me beyond just this time to have this pre-recorded time, okay? Because we are the Healing and Change Lab. I thank y'all so much for being with me. I do want to just share with y'all a couple just QR codes here. And that's again, join us for the waiting list. Join it. Yep, join it. Get that phone out or tablet, QR code there, and be able to join the waiting list here, okay? Because I know that when it comes, people are going to be like, hey, do you have an executive coaching open? Do you have any time to do one-on-ones? Do you have the time to meet with my organization? Yep, join the waiting list. Join the waiting list. We are here for you. We are here to do this work as well, and this part of Dreaming Collective Care and Practice. There's also opportunity for you to download to learn a little bit more. What we do is Exhaustion to Wellness Alchemy. That is available as well. You can do your QR code there. Now, I won't tell you that is going to be updated as well, but you'll have this edition. So if you want to hold on off and wait till March, you're more than welcome, because it is going to be a seasonal type of ebook. But just to kind of see what we've been up to. Yep. Exhaustion to Wellness Alchemy. Okay. And don't forget that we have sweatshirts, t-shirts that have some hella dope creativity upon them. Please join our Breathe and Believe store, and you can get your favorite t-shirt, your favorite sweatshirt. I think we even have some bags and pillows on there too, which is real cool. So check it out, Breathe and Believe. And we still have this Black Friday that's been going on forever. I need to update that too, y'all. But it's still, I believe, Friday 50, but it may be MLK 50 now that I think about it. It may be MLK 50. Major just respect and honor to Dr. King when we had the January 20th, when we had Dr. King to celebrate his birthday. It was an opportunity to just be able to give a space of discount as well. Okay, so I think the change is on the website, but I'll make sure of that as well. All right. So with that being stated, once more, y'all, thank y'all so much for joining me on this space. Thank you for being with me in this opportunity. And I'm so grateful to be your professor. Feel free to join me on next week, and I will see y'all then. All right. Thank y'all so much. Please continue to rest on ways, and we will be in community next week. Take care. Bye.